Alrighty, I think we're alive. Guess we'll see. Get some paperwork done before I go too much further. What am I after? 4235. 4235. So I don't lose bits and pieces. Let's do the overhead. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. Ah, great. It's better. So Kyle, Nuno, don't know Nuno. Loaded him. Stockholm's, Nelson, Margarita. Mr. Howe, evening. Rodrigo's here. Matthew Fox, Mr. Menzies. Alright, seems like we've got everybody going here. Okay, so we've got this 1466, supposedly no signs of life, resets with no change. I'm fairly sure. Hey, where's my SSD? There's no SSD in this. Alright. No indication that there isn't an SSD in there. That's weird. That's really weird. Don't like it when there's no SSD in these things. It's like, did I take it out? I don't think so. I haven't opened it. Oh, wait, no. There is. It's up on the shelf. I didn't take it out. It was already taken out. I don't know about the Keanu Reeves at the moment. I'm probably more of a Foo Fighters guy. I'm fine either way. It's out. Yep. This is pretty much my last one in the queue until I get more machines coming in tomorrow. Well, I guess we'll plug some power in and see what happens, shall we? I'll just stick the sticker on the other backside. These are easy to remove stickers, so they're not going to cause any dramas with sticking or anything like that. You know, causing people to rage. No, Keanu Reeves does like his dogs, yes. According to John Wick. And we've got a fan spin. We've got no SMC activity. It's a 165. We've got a bong, and now we've got SMC. Seriously, you're alive? Fun and games. Let's see if we get anything on screen. The screen is active. Yep, we've got a backlight. Let's see if we get a folder. Hey Warren. Hey Bradley back. Basic. Can't be sure. And we've got it. Well, what the hell's wrong with this? Well, I know the person would not have sent this up unless they were fairly sure it was failing, so we could have another one of those situations where we do have corrosion sitting somewhere on the board, and it's just through the process of transporting it up here that it's sort of shaken the contents around enough that it's re-established connections. So we're going to take it out and have a look. Stream supported by L'Oreal, yeah. Everyone's going to make fun of the fact that I grow my hair. Mostly because I'm lazy. I can't stand wasting 15-20 minutes sitting around waiting for my hair to be cut. It's like, can't I just comb through some barber mites or something and have them automatically cut my hair? What's Nelson going on? What do you mean? What's wrong with disassembly? We've already had one other machine do this to us out of this batch that came up, so it's strongly likely there's some crud on the other side. Don't crush my dreams at your headbang. Huh? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a motorcyclist, does that help? And I don't mean a scooter motorcyclist, I mean a proper motorcyclist. Got my full license. Can ride whatever I want. The trouble with most motorbikes these days is that they're so damn powerful that you basically break all your laws and lose your license just in first gear. It's like, let me rev all the way to the red line in first gear. That's it, you lose your license and everything. It kind of sucks the fun out of it. Hey Jane Zimmy, hey Jack. May as well grow it before you lose it. It'd be interesting to see if I do lose it or whether I keep it. Okay, have I forgotten anything other than the Wi-Fi module? By the way, let me know if there's any audio problems, because I didn't ask last night, but no one made any complaints, so I assume that everything went okay. But I chopped the cord, I did all the other changes and things. No marks on that side either. Starting to get concerned. Funnily enough, Andrew, I've had short hair in my motorcycling days, and my long hair is a recent development. Well, by recent I mean the last 20 years or so. Hey Neil, how's it going? Okay, let's have a look under the scopey wokey. And see if we can spot anything that could be intermittent. It'll be along this back edge probably. I'm gonna be frustrated if there's nothing. Are you kidding? There's nothing. Would have hauled in everybody only to reveal that there is nothing to reveal. I wonder if the solid state drive is at fault. There's really nothing jumping out at me. Hey ITM2, where you been lately? You working or something? Oh, there we go. That was a bit of a sneaky one. Yep, that'll about do it. Okay, let's go have a look and see what that looks after. I'm pretty sure that's the 5 and 3. Bum, bum, bum. Hey Pernov, you're hanging around a lot these days, Pernov. Which is good, because I could use your brains a lot of the time. Okay, 7501. Yep, 5 and 3. By the way, I was getting really annoyed with my part find feature because it wasn't finding parts. And I decided to have a check of the code, and I found out why. So now it really does find parts, which is really good. The downside is that it's very slow on the searching, but it does work. So like I can now go and put in the full text as well. So 10 microfarad, 0402, 10 volts, something like that. And it will properly find things now. Whereas before it was being a bit iffy about it. Yeah. So as you can see, it's working just perfectly fine now. Did I put in 0402? Oh yeah, that's right. Unfortunately, I haven't uploaded this version yet, but I've got a couple of other little things I want to check before I upload the next alpha version. Let's get this chip replaced, and hopefully we should have good behavior. Yeah, it wasn't really a complicated one to find, was it now? ITM2, I think that piece of crap was just exactly that, just a flake of crap. Yeah, see, it's blown away. I saw it then when I was going over the first time. Hey, Soderbridge. Mitch Seth, hello. Another new person, I think. Got boards to fix, but no machines to test them. Pinov, what sort of machines do you need? Like, you're talking about chassis? Like you got a 1466 board, but no chassis and things like that? I'm sure if you let some people know what you're looking for, there's going to probably be some people who can contribute. Well, this is taking a little longer than I like. Pretty damn sure my calibration's out on this hot air station nowadays. That should have come off already by now. Hey Mark Stapleton. Let's see, we've got some damage on some pins there. Oh, looks like we've got at least one pin gone missing. I think it's still there, it just needs to be uncovered. Put it on our archaeologist mode. See if I can brighten that up just using some solder and flux rather than scratching too much out of it. Jack, I'd say that could be you at fault there, like having troubles, because as far as I can tell it should be going out at proper high def. I've got... yeah, nothing showing up here unfortunately, Jack. Sunday night. The internet's taken a night off. There's a bit of grunge hanging around the pads on the bottom right corner here. It's not bad. Yeah, I'd best get it off. So it's just flaking off stuff. It's looking much better now. Suck up a little bit of that excess pad solder. Not really overly keen on squishing out too much of the center pad solder. It's just not my kind of thing. To me, that's more like the required amount of center solder. But now we've got to get another one. So it's actually one of the chips that I do tend to use a heck of a lot. So it's almost time for me to buy another dozen donor boards or something. Yeah, you look a little bit nasty. The trouble is, with China half shut down, it's getting a little tricky to pick them up. Well, I know why I can't find half my boards. I gave a bunch of them away to someone. That was smart, Paul. Alright. Let's see what else has got that chip. So, we want that chip. Search. Find a part. Ah, not iPhones. Search. Well, I was trying to be friendly to someone. Yeah, trying to give them a bit of a start-up in the fun and games of repairing MacBooks, and yeah, they needed some boards in a hurry. So I had a few that I'd already stripped the MagSafe, not the MagSafe, that I'd already stripped the SMCs and such off. So I thought I'd send them down to them, because I thought, well, I got plenty of the others. But then this recent batch of repairs has kind of pushed me back in terms of supply of donors. And there's been a lot of stuff that... let's see, was that a TPS 511? No, it's a 19850, right. Okay. Alright, we've got a bunch of boards that'll... Let's see, what have we got? 34, 35, 165, 164. Actually, not as many of the sorts that I can use as I thought. I might just have to take it off this board and hope that it's okay. Hey, Stalin's love. Oh well, let's try our luck with this one. Hopefully it's not too messed up. I'm fairly sure I can actually get this chip from places like Element 14, so I might buy a couple of dozen of them or something. Or just order them from AliExpress or something like that. Maybe scraping PDF poem strings and then indexing database. Yeah, I kind of thought of doing things like that. But it's just another layer of... What I'd probably be better off doing is spawning multiple processes, like maybe 2 or 3 concurrently. Since they are single thread processes, then, you know, if the processor in the machine has like got 7 or 8 cores, then it shouldn't be a big problem. Get out of here, click beetle. But yeah, I mean, at the moment it's just doing it sequentially. Ow! Thanks, bug. Okay, well, pin one down here. Fairly sure that was pin 1 down there. I was waiting for you, Mr. Howe, to say that. I was checking on my board view in the other window, or I should say the other display. Being a bit of a klutz? How do you mean? Klutz. I had one notable mistake that I can recall, and that was about it. Okay, let's get my little testing pack. Not really expecting any surprises on this. I mean, the board was working before we even decided to repair it, so hopefully we can stay at the working state rather than going backwards, which would then definitely be a problem. Okay, 165, so we're just going to basically spin up and that's it. We're just waiting for the green light now. The green flashy. Okay, we're good. That's a win. which means it now has to go into the ultrasonic. Out of curiosity, does anyone know of a pen or marker that I can use to write on the circuit boards that will survive the ultrasonic process? That'd be really useful, because sometimes I want to put multiple boards into the tank. And Mark Bianca, thank you. Let's see, ice cream tonight will be vanilla and salted caramel, two different tubs mixed together, for a little bit later perhaps. So I'd like to occasionally put multiple boards into the ultrasonic cleaner, particularly when I'm starting to get the 22 litre tank. But obviously, under normal circumstances, if I write anything on it, the writing gets scrubbed off by the ultrasonic cleaning, of course, which leaves me then with boards that I don't know the identity of, other than making a physical scratch mark or something like that, which I would prefer not to do, as you can imagine. A whiteout pen. Paint pen or whiteout pen? When you say whiteout pen, do you mean like correctional whiteout for typists and writing? So what was this? Oh, it's a 1.8 gigahertz one. This is a decent spec board. 1.8 and 8 gigs. Ah, crud. Neil, I'd rather not do a dremeling. I mean, yeah, that would absolutely work, but I'd rather not. Prefer to keep it as pristine as I can. I mean, agreeably, I'm sitting here and I'm replacing parts and leaving flux everywhere. But even still, I would prefer not to physically deform the board any more than I have to. So I might go look for a paint pen. Could you put some sort of coloured spring clip through one of the screw holes? Ben, that's an interesting thing you should bring up. I was thinking of something like dog tags, like a dog tag chain type thing. One of those little metal ball bead type things and having a tag on it. So yeah, that was something I was thinking of. Not that I'd know where to get them just yet, but maybe I can just go down to the local shops and see if they're selling anything that has those little things on them just as price sticker holders. Check the PCH on one of these boards would be an easy way of telling them apart. What? Crack the PCH. Crack the zip ties is another good idea. Coloured zip ties. Yeah. Although I don't have any coloured zip ties. You'd want them to be reusable zip ties, wouldn't you? Okay. Hello, my Russian friend. Plastic would be less destructive. How about a paperclip with a list of what colour goes to what board? Colour paperclip, that could work. You apparently can't buy the TPS 51980 from any official distributor, not even directly from Texas Instrument. Oh, bugger. Alright. I think it was the 5112 something 25 that I've got, that I can purchase commercially. Let's see what we've got here. These things. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's written on there. Idiot. Yeah, TPS 51125, that's what I can buy commercially, which is not the same chip. Yeah, cheapest chips. They're all stripped from other existing main boards, that's all. Okay, well, I'm just going to wash off some of this excess flux before I put it in the ultrasonic. It's a little easier for me to do it now. And it makes the ultrasonic tank last a little bit longer. Suck up all that excess flux. It's like cleaning up after you deep fried a bunch of chips. Mind you, you take too much fat out of your fish and chips, it kind of takes the flavour with it too. Looks like we're a little overblown on the brightness I see. Where's my mouse? Come on, mouse. It's a bit better. Well, that pretty much clears up the initial queue of jobs. The only one that we have is that one that was a little uncertain. Yeah, we just sort of... It was fixed and running, but we were kind of like, yeah, it's not really fixed and running. Now I've got to find it though. What did I do with you? Oh great. You're already ultrasonic cleaned and everything. Oh wait, no, that's someone. Someone sent me a warranty job, but it ended up not being a warranty job because it actually they had damaged it new with more liquid damage. So they weren't happy to hear that. 4236. It's the one where I changed the CPU cap. Even though we pretty much knew it wasn't going to be the CPU cap. I'm just looking for it right now. No, you were the backlight one. Oh come on, seriously, where did I put that job? Sorry, I know you can't see me over there, but let's see what's this one? Unknown fault machine. Do I have any other boards out here? Apparently not. Oh yeah, no, it was one of the first ones I picked up. Crud. Coloured single core wire, Andrew Hughes. You mean like so like this stuff? This is wire wrap wire. It's probably not a bad idea. Ow! Alright, maybe I haven't been a klutz lately. Clearly no understanding of the depth of my elbow. Ordered chips from AliExpress, waited 2 months for them to arrive and finally packaged contained a green shower cap. What the? Yeah, so this is the one that it sometimes goes properly and then sometimes does not go properly. It's the one where we think we've got either a pull up not quite working, or a pull down not quite working, or a capacitor not quite working. That's our theory. One of. Who the heck dropped hot solder on their bits? Not that I want kids either. Maybe I should check what's under that blob. Maybe it got corrosion under there. That'd be funny because it's about the 50 millionth one we've had to do this weekend. One of my old ones. Really? I dropped stuff on my... Oh boy. Oh well. Short-term memory. Not much good. Let's try that again without the junk on the tweezer tips. And that looks pretty much perfect there. Can't see any damage whatsoever. That's right, we had the damage up here as well. And we've stickers ruined anyway. Have you got private health cover? I do actually. We do have the national health cover, which is perfectly good for most things. But I do take out private. I need to increase my private health cover because at the end of the year the government looks at how much I put into private health and decides that, well, you didn't really put in enough to cover yourself as a typical human. So we're going to take an extra couple of thousand out of your tax and to make you pay for it regardless. So I'm better off actually putting that couple of thousand straight into the private medical cover, and at least then I get extra benefits, as opposed to this way where I don't get extra benefits but I still lose the money. Okay, there is a bit of junk lying around here, but it's hard to say whether it's... We'll hit those with a bit of solder and see if they fall apart. Better put the lung saver on. Hey, Zaki. Well, Stuart, it's more a case of if I want to be smart, I would get, I would get the private health cover. Blah blah blah. I can't speak properly. I would get it simply so that I get better value for the money I have to spend regardless. I think where the problem that I'm running into is that there's no benefit level that I can jump to that costs me as much or less than what the tax is going to be regardless. So I sort of either going to have to forgo an extra few thousand again on top of what I'm already being taxed, or so it's the balance is hard to find. I'm having a hard time finding anything that I can consider potentially faulty around here visually. Which is quite frustrating. You may notice that almost all of my repairs end up just being visual jobs. I don't think there's really any that I've had to do logical thinking. It's just like, look for the messy bit, replace the messy bit. Hey Jeff P. Maybe nothing's faulty anymore. Yeah, that's some serious optimism there. It's nothing faulty to the point where it will let me get it shipped out and then it will become faulty when it lands in at the person's hands. You know that's how it works. Where did my... Where did my test cables go? Normally I stick them up the top here. Boom, boom, boom. Yep, sticking them on top of the old job is not the right way to do these things. Hey Dirk. Unterweger. I have a feeling no matter what I'm going to do, this job is going to come back. I can only hope that when it does come back, it will be of a more conclusive type fault. I don't like sending jobs out like that, but sometimes, so the person wants it back, you can't prove that it's still got a fault, you're going by your gut. Anyway, let's see, so 3437 we should be doing the up down, up down, up down. Yeah, see? It gets to go for the final spin up and then it stops with 21 milliamp. Almost makes me think it's a BIOS issue. Almost. I guess it can't hurt to replace it. When you test and the magic smoke shows you the way. Yes. When the magic smoke comes out, you know that you've had a bad day. There's a bit of bubbling coming out from under that chip, so it's a bit suspicious to start with. Alright, we'll zippy bag this sucker. For the love of God, do not ever rewrite over the top of the original BIOS, please. Baggy it up, mark it as an original, and put a replacement on there. Don't go replacing it with, don't reflash it or anything like that. So this is, it seems wasteful, but it'll save your butt one day. 4236. 42306 original. And that's a 165, so we find ourselves a 165, take its BIOS chip off and see if that boots up without the dramas. Ah, you little bastard, someone's taken that one already. Alright, what's the guess we're not going to have a 165 BIOS around here? Okay, 165, ooh, we've got a BIOS. Except this is a 150 milliamp no spin, so that's probably actually faulty as well. No, my luck, that is. What about you? 3437. Never used to have a lot of boards, but sure do now. Oh, another BIOS missing. What are you? 3437, no good, can't use that. 3437. What's 1278 doing in here? Get out of here. You belong in the primitive box. 3437. Honestly, I feel like Richard III here. My kingdom for a 165 BIOS. Come on. Last board in the stack, and we have a BIOS. Lo and behold, very last board in my stack. It's a refurb that's also become a donor board, but it is a 165 and it does have BIOS on it. See you tomorrow. Oh man, looks beaten to all hell, but still a BIOS. The other thing I could end up doing is just getting one of these chips from any old board and flashing it with an existing known BIOS that I might have on archive on the computers, like just in my file server, because I keep a copy of every one that I get, as in every one that I repair. There we go. Wait, what the... Oh, I'm an idiot. The previous board we worked on was a 165. This is a 3437, which I have plenty of. That's funny as. Okay. Should have known it looked a bit small. Okay. So now we're on this. 82065 Donal BIOS. Okay. And I will stick that into my container of MacBook bits, which will be the last place I bother looking when I'm looking for something again. Okay, so 3437, well that hopefully will be a walk in the park now. I really do have enough boards that I should be just having one type of board per container tray. Hey, one before. Still overhead view. Yeah, it's meant to be. Oh, the compass view didn't kick in. Oh man, there's no BIOS on that one. Am I going to be tortured here? No BIOS, 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 no BIOS. So many no BIOSes. No BIOS. Fun. Okay. What about this one on the floor? On the floor. Okay, let's see if the kick in. Yeah, they kicked in now. Ooh, sweet looking one too. Hasn't been smashed up. Hey Ed, welcome. Hey Tom George. Oh, 15C, that'd be nice. We're still in the mid-20s here easily. So if this makes it work better, more consistently, then what I'll do is I'll take an image of the old BIOS, hopefully I can read it, and then I will get it repaired or a new one generated, and then I'll write it onto a new chip, maybe this chip. Yeah, not much use of your hair does that afro effect. Fortunately mine does not do that. I will admit I got blessed when it came to the hair. Not that I actually cared so much, but something to be happy for, I guess. Right, someone forgot to turn on the lung saver. Oops. Spewed out some balls. Dirk, I'm using the 9mm nozzle. 460 and 110 or so of air. But as always, it's entirely unpredictable, and yes, I know I lost a resistor off the top there. I saw it. I saw it got washed away in the tsunami of lead. Buried in here somewhere. There it is. Oh wow. Oh, that was just pure talent. Okay, not really talent, that was pure luck. So yeah, this resistor sit down. Damn thing wants to tombstone. Yeah, there it goes. First it wanted to tombstone and then it just flew away. Good day. I know, Travis. I'm a bit of a show off like that. I should be embarrassed. See, Jack's got the right idea. Yes, more A than C. I agree. But I'll take it while I can. It's still a win. Alright, so here we go. I do find this an interesting fault for the fact that it gets to the last time that it needs to spin up before it fails. But normally it's on the first one, or it keeps spinning and things like that. I don't normally get it with the last one. We've got no SMC coming up yet. We're going to green light. Oh, there we go. This actually seems might be a little bit better. That I think ran for way too long, didn't it? Alright, yeah, that might have been it. Might have been it. We can't guarantee it though, but it might have been it. Welcome to the world of trying to prove a fault that you can't prove. Alright, so in that case we'll take a copy of the BIOS and see how we go. And then I will probably harass Pernov or someone like that to fix it for me, so that I can then put it back into the system. Jack Chain, I need a hair. No, I don't need a haircut. What do you want me to be, a conformist? Stuff that. I used to have my hair down to the lower portion of my back. I'll be whatever I want to do. Okay, so we've got the big one. Face that out. Hippie, no. Jack, yeah, there was green light activity. Oh, that's okay, Pernov. I was just saying that I rely on your good services to correct these BIOS issues that I run into. Because Pernov knows that I don't believe in BIOS failures. I believe they're a myth. Mr. Wayne Taylor. I wonder if those boxes will arrive tomorrow. I see I've got one listing of a postal delivery, and I don't know which one it is. I know you sent me the details, but I didn't appropriately take note of the numbers, and I'm not going to go back through the emails. I'm just going to wait till I see them tomorrow. I'm not fretting about it. Alright, Paul, you know, I let myself get away with a lot of things, but this is really pushing my luck with that gap. I'm not a boomer. Don't you dare call me a boomer. I'm a Gen X, which just seems to be the forgotten generation at this point. It's like we've got boomers and you got millennials, and everyone's forgotten that X even exists. That's because X2 is too busy working every day, fixing up all the issues. Tom George is a 56. Oh, okay. A few years ahead of me. Well, what do you know? My USB isn't plugged in. Fancy that. I think this is probably because I was digging around trying to find why everything had stopped working properly. Let's see. How about, you wanna get plugged into here? You feeling that? Try that. Oh, you weren't calling me a beam. Alright, okay. You are forgiven. C plus. Okay, it's been found. Okay. What am I doing? What chip have I even got here? So 25. What? $25 QO64A. QO64. Oops. Damn it. Oh great, yeah, just how about this? Now what? Strange that it's lost my BIOS, my window capture. What was it? 064, eh? That's the one I want. I thought it was that Star Trek was owned by Australia Post. You know, Star Trek used to be its own entity, and then Australia Post bought it because they were desperately looking for someone who could actually deliver packages competently. And now, of course, Star Trek doesn't deliver them quite so competently anymore. Andre, you get them from AliExpress and various other places, but predominantly AliExpress. They're what we call donor boards. So if you put in the board number and just put in the board number and they'll come up. So I'll have to send this file to Pernov and see if he can fix it for me. Also see package of DT88, 880 DFU cable at Red Bank as well. My son-in-law delivers for a contractor connected to Australia Post, but it's not Star Trek. Yeah, well, Australia Post basically completely contracts out now all their deliveries. Okay, so that's been read in. So I can take that off and put that back into its safe baggie. And then I will get the one off the board, reprogram it, and replace it with the fixed BIOS, which I do not have. And unfortunately, because I'm not sure what I'm doing with fixing these BIOSes, for me it's much easier just to pay someone to quickly do it for me. I could learn it, I've done it in the past, but I much prefer to just pay someone a little bit of money and get them to do it. So share around the profits of the job, so to speak. Hey Luke. Jack, the breadboard is for holding this little adapter in it. It's just got, because of the pins there. And I don't care about it so much, such that if it gets a little bit melted from the hot air, then it's it's no shame to me. And what is on this? Oh, it's an old 80 mega. Haha. This is probably an old prototype of when I was doing the LCD panels for one of my projects. And I just wanted to, an old 8820. And this is the LCD interface with the various whatever bits and pieces that I needed. God, I'm so glad I don't have to use pin through parts anymore. What a horrible existence. Hey Harold, welcome. Fastways and couriers please basically suck for up here. For up here, toll is the best. Star Trek actually isn't too bad if you've got someone who's in the right place and does their dispatch properly. So toll and Star Trek can get to me overnight. Australia Post is next, about 2 or 3 days. Let's see. Nick Vasey, about the 1398, as in the logic board and the battery are fried, is there any chance that you can do the wax string thing to remove the battery? I would have to check with the person who owns the machine. I unfortunately can't take that sort of action without their blessings, so to speak. Some people don't like their stuff messed with anything more than they just don't like their stuff messed with. It's that simple. So definitely got to get their blessings first. Pernov, I'll let's see, clean ME1. Pernov, can I just send this file to you? Yeah, let's see how quick Pianov is. Let's see. So what have I got? Dumped up in MV dumped up into 3437 20203. What's the date today? I wonder. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, I'm just going to harass Pernov on a web page. Where the hell's Discord when I need it? Pernov, are you on Discord at the moment? Pernov has probably run away because he doesn't want to do this because he's sick of me calling him up for this stuff. Hey Lars, the universe is doing pretty good this week actually. Yeah, it's been a good week. I fixed up most of the things. The week before it was just a complete crap fest of nothing wants to work, everything goes straight into the bin. But this week we've been doing pretty damn good. Pardon me. Okay, looks like Pernov's alive, but I don't know whether he's going to answer me or not. I think it's time I probably put my hair back a bit, so it's starting to catch in my face. So I'll just take my headband off. Ow. Let's see if Harold sent me a file. Was that through email, Harold, I presume? I hope you sent it to the Gmail one, because at least I can get access to that remotely. See when I can. The rest of my email systems I've got locked away very tightly. Oh. What's that? Okay. There you go, Pernoff. Serial number is on display. I sworn I brought one down. No? Crap. I'm gonna have to commit the ultimate sin and maybe use an elastic rubber band. That's weird. Oh well. Things I leave Gmail? Alright, okay. Gmail. Let's see what Harold's sending me. Ah, yes. It means I haven't seen anything wrong. Alright, Harold, I'm going to have a look at that and talk to you about that. I'll talk to about that so that I can at least understand what I'll be doing. I'm going to be traumatized here by the fact that I can't even find my hairband. First world problems, eh? I don't even have any Velcro ties. I can't believe it, my server's only putting out 50k a second, that's pretty suckful. How does that work, Harold? How does that work for any 3437? Can you explain that to me? I believe you. I'm just kind of curious how it works. Use a cable tie. Yeah, it's actually a smart idea. Someone's thinking. So how is it that it gets around that? All the ME checks and everything else like that, and the camera checks. Wire, yeah. Use some 2-gauge wire. What's the story? No, we're reprogramming it because it appears as if the BIOS is a little bit corrupt. I guess the other question is, Harold, will it preserve the serial number that's actually on the case? Or is that something else entirely? The serial number will change. Okay, yeah. So I probably want to preserve the serial number on this one. If it was my own, I couldn't give two squats, but I would prefer to retain the serial number. Main reason being is that I got burned a couple of weeks ago where I had to do a serial number change on a board, some hardware, and then one of their programs stopped working, and they weren't able to get it they weren't able to get the license recertified, and they had to repurchase their software, which cost them a bit of money. Penov's delivered the goods. Penov, I will do what I did the other day again for you, as way of thanks. So yeah, because of that person losing out on their software, I kind of having to be a little bit more cautious about serial number changes, unless it's like an absolute necessity. But it's good to know that that file that you've sent, Harold, will actually work for all of them. A good way to test. Ah, oh, crud's sake, we're up this game again. Dodgy brothers work here. Supreme Dodgy Brothers work. Yeah, Jack, it wasn't exactly something I was aware of. They also do it with the hard drives. So it's kind of like the old DOS days. Okay. Alright, I plugged it in wrong. Have I soldered it in upside down? Oh, good turn off actually. That's something that I run into a lot. Needing the APFS update. So thank you. Well, we're trying to fix the BIOS, Travis. Trying to fix it. For some reason, it just didn't want to read. Oh yeah, actually I'm right. This is not... The software was telling me... The software was telling me that I was using the wrong chip. It was telling me directly and I was ignoring it. It even told me what chip I should be using, which is this one here. Alright, there was nothing wrong with the original solder job. I'd ever thought that if your customer explained the situation, the software company... Yeah, except the software company was Microsoft. It was something special about it. It was a Microsoft Office update from... It was a free update that they issued, and they didn't actually give like a CD pack or anything like that. And in the end, the license code they had, it just didn't work, and we couldn't get the update pack or anything like that. So it was just in the end cheaper to go and buy the new software. I think they end up going with Office 365, which is a bit of a shame, but it's the way it goes. And the trouble was, it happened quite a few years ago, and it's now out of support. So, something to watch out for. Waiting for the code to write. Thank you, Pernov, by the way. Waiting. Not much you can do about this other than just wait. You can't really speed up the reading and writing of these. Just gotta wait. To test if a BIOS is bad, then our MAC card is the easiest way to test that. The MAC card. Have I got one of those, or did I... Oh, I can't remember. You've got so many interesting products there that I haven't had a chance to really check them properly. Sing us a song. I will not sing you a song because I cannot sing. Many things in life I have a fairly moderate degree of confidence that I can go out and do something. But when it comes to singing, that is not on my list, so no. Can speed it up. How much faster? You talk about like block or parallel writes, or reducing or increasing the clock cycle. I know when I'm flashing the AVRs, I can tweak it quite a bit and get some significant speed ups, which is much needed when you're trying to write 32 megs into a file, into a chip. Interestingly, towards the end of my work with Atmel AVRs, I preferred going to the little 6-pin ones, and then you had to the programming technique for those little 6-pin chips was quite interesting. These programmers just waste a lot of time. No, I can't whistle or hum. My whistling is more of the sound of wind blowing randomly through buildings. Hey, Virgon. And my humming is probably also way out of... yeah. 32 megs, but it had a lot of things, floating point systems in it, so... yeah. It was probably around about 30, something like that. But I pushed the limits of it. I was hoping when they brought out the Mega X that it would just be more of an expansion of the existing Mega, but the way they changed everything with the Mega X compared to the original Megas, it was just like, yeah, may as well just go to an STM32 in that case, which was a shame. I had high hopes for the next generation of Megas. Virgon, this one doesn't support the 1.8 volt directly, but I do have a 1.8 volt adapter. So I can plug the adapter into this socket and it will do it for me. The trick is remembering to put it in there before you've already done the damage. Oh, nope. Let's see. Well, we have a board here that's got some odd behavior. We've cleaned up a bunch of junk off it and some corrosion and fixed some, burned out areas. But we were still getting some bizarro behavior, which was somewhat similar to what you'd expect from a failed BIOS or corrupted BIOS. And so now we have gone through the process of rebuilding the BIOS onto a new chip with a new base, and hopefully things will now work properly. So yeah, you're all up to speed. Main reason I'm still sticking with this programmer is I very rarely encounter the 1.8 volt chips, and it works perfectly well with Linux, so I'm happy. I know it seems slightly cumbersome over the command line, but it does make things a little bit easier for me personally. I just prefer the command line. I mean, come on, give me a break. I'm a person who loves using the Vim editor. I've got long hair. I've got long hair. I'm getting oldish. I'm allowed to have obnoxious choices in life. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, I made it. I am out of paper towel. Oh wait, no I'm not. Ugh. Triple pack. John Doe, the funny thing is mine doesn't. I just wash it once a day and that's it. I do nothing else to it. It looks after itself pretty damn good. Now there's a lot of people that would kill for that sort of low maintenance regime, but no, that's what I've got. To be fair though, I've got a million other things I've got to manage, so it evens out in the end. Like most things in life. Jimbo, if you... I've got the TL866 2, or whatever. No, wait, no, I've got the CS one, sorry. Yeah, I've got the CS one, and that works fine with the Mini Pro software. No, I'm most certainly not homophobic. I don't like using the bent nozzle because it's not a well-designed bent nozzle. You lose a lot of heat, you lose a lot of airflow, it's very turbulent, it's not a good design. If they wanted to do a proper bent nozzle, they should have taken a straight one and then put it through a pipe bender. That would have worked much better, but this whole 45-degree angle crap, it doesn't work well. Okie doke. Let's see how we go. Oh boy, nothing works now. Oh, there it goes. Yes, the 866 CS is the one I have. This is broken, it's still not going. So we have not found the fault. It still lurks. Oh Jesus, someone get rid of that guy. Yep, so that's a no-go, folks. That did not fix the problem. Still intermittent. And this time it's only just on the first one. Interesting. Mr. Maxi, this is basically a status indicator. It lets me know, instead of relying on fan spin, this will let me know when I've got the power, when I've got the 5 volts SO, and it'll also let me know when there's CPU activity. There's a middle green light here that will start flashing whenever there's CPU activity. So it's an easy way of determining if your board is actually alive or whether you've just got some zombified fan spin. And you can get them from the CSI Zapper site, with Harold is the creator of them, who's in this channel chat right now, I think. Still, maybe. Still around, Harold? And he can direct you to it. They're very useful boards, very useful. Like I said, they give you that bit more reassurance that you're on the right path than just fan spin alone. And that resistor's missing a bit of stuff off the end of it. No, it's not. It was an optical illusion. Blast. Yeah, I know, there's a solder ball there between the cap, but that's not a problem. Yeah, Jack, it was working before and now it's not. And it's been intermittent, that's the problem. And that's basically why we're sort of going around blindly fixing things that we think might be the fault. This is fast getting to the point where I'm just going to be better off replacing the whole motherboard, but then it brings me up to the serial number problem again. So I'm trying to avoid that, especially considering that we do know it works. So we've got something that's just a little intermittent. Some little son of a gun of a thing. I mean, for all I know, it could actually be something under the SMC, perhaps. Maybe I should try that next. This is the part where you start flailing around. And maybe I've got a bad connection here on this. Should check all the pins on the connector. Bigger hammer always fixes stubborn problems. Well, it does. It certainly makes it one way or another. What would you say is the difficulty level of changing a 6259? Would it be... and would you really need a... You don't need a micro pencil. Not at all. You do need a good hot air station, because otherwise you will not get the heat into the board to get that chip to come off quickly enough. A good hot air station, a standard, you know, Hakko JSO2 tip or something like that. I have had these pins just break in the past. But in this particular instance it seems as though they are all perfectly intact. See, Wayne Taylor, tried shilling for you on Lewis's channel. Oh right, for Harold, yeah. Wayne, I can't even unban. I've looked up your name and I've tried to unban everything, and for some reason it just doesn't let me. And I've implored. It seems the only person that can do it is Lewis himself, and it's going to require a sustained campaign to have that happen. We had to do it for Ed to get him unlocked, so maybe Ed can be your spokesperson, as it were. I'm not even sure what would cause 21 milliamp now. I'm starting to second guess everything I'm doing. So I guess we asked, do we do the SMC just for the hell of it? So there really wasn't any corrosion around the SMC compared to the areas where there was legitimate issues, like around here and then over here. So what is this actual crystal for? Yeah, Jack, I do tend to agree. A new board would be probably, in terms of time efficiency, you're absolutely right. Brain fart. Why 1915? Oh, you're the PCH clock, right. Wonder what the chances are that the crystal itself is dodgy. It'd be pretty unusual, to be honest. There's a little bit of junk coming off the side there, but I don't think it's more than likely just a random bit of dust that has the wrong colour about it, as opposed to being legitimately corrosion. Hey, Riston UK. I'm just doing the edge view along here. Gives you the perspective of the incoming trash. Get the hair out of the eyeball. I can see grit and sand in there, but I can't, in all honesty, see any corrosion on that SMC. Pull out the oscilloscope. No, I don't have one anymore. The only oscilloscope I've got these days is the old Velman 10 megahertz one. That's not much chop. So, this classic old piece of equipment still works. I just don't ever use it. It seems to be getting greener and greener by the day. I'd imagine I should get something like a Rigel or a Sigilant 4-channel unit. $21 milliamps. What could you be? And why stop partway through the sequence? Yeah. What's the time? Shoot. Alright, it's actually past midnight, so really I should be packing it up. I'd best not do an SMC past midnight, so probably really have to wrap this one up. And I'll leave it on the bench and I'll tackle it tomorrow. I've got a few other things I've got to get done, mostly paperwork and packaging and sending off invoices and stuff. Alright. Yeah, it's time for me to not become a pumpkin. Board Jesus didn't save this one yet. This one's still waiting. But you can't win them all, not every time. Let's see. Alright, everything's good on the phone. No one's been desperately trying to message me. Dennis, probably what's going to happen is in the morning I will test this and it will spin fine, but I know it's not going to be fixed, so I definitely will not be sending that out. No thanks. Alright, so thank you everyone for watching, and I appreciate that. So as always, you know, the old thumbs up and the subscribe is always good, but most importantly, just share it around. You know, that's always what makes me happy. And of course, if you are a professional and you're looking for Boardview software, there is always Flex Boardview, which I write. Always happy if you buy a license to that. It's a perpetual license, by the way. It is not a subscription license. It gives you 2 years of updates, and you still own it after the 2 years. It doesn't expire on you. So as a person who hates subscriptions and as a programmer, I like to try and provide a product that has a minimum impact on what you do daily. You know, I'm sure I'm trying to cut my margin of living in here. with selling that commercially, but at the same time also want to make sure that I don't make your lives harder than it has to be. Alright, I'm leaving it at that. You all take care. I'll maybe see you tomorrow.